Hey everybody, we are back again with another episode of the Nintendo Pipeline Podcast. Almost forgot the name of the show. Um, I am CMM. I'm going to be hosting today, and with me I have...
One Up Muffin, but you can call me Jared.
And Mina.
Sweet. And today we have a very special guest. Could you introduce yourself?
It's me. It's Drago again. I'm back.
You're
Welcome back.
Back
You're here
from
with
the
us for the
ashes.
E3 episode, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
That's right.
And I think we accidentally skipped over Smash Brothers when we talked.
We might have. We probably talked about it for like a second. It's
We're like,
oh,
who cares about Smash? And now here we are weeping about Smash Brothers. You know, crying.
Yeah, now we're all crying.
Almost crying.
Yeah.
I almost did
Same.
actually cry.
Oh.
Not. Well, you know what? I'm getting way too deep into this off the jump. So I'm gonna roll.
Yeah. So...
We'll get to the
So-
crying.
Yeah, so the last direct that we had said there would be the final Smash Bros. Presentation for October 5th, and now October 5th happened. It was a 40-minute long presentation showing the final character to be added to Super Smash Bros. Ultimate after, what, a 3.5 year journey?
3.5 years, yeah. Since Inkling was announced.
Something like
Just
that.
about.
We got that first trailer.
Yeah, March.
And so
2018.
they got all of the other stuff out of the way first. They went with Mii costumes. We had our Octoling hat, and we had our Judd hat, and we had Doomslayer, which I'm happy he made it as a
Yeah,
costume.
That
it
was
was
a fun
cute.
costume. That was a character a lot of people wanted, so and it was cute to see him show up. You know.
Yeah.
No, I was kind of surprised. Not surprised that there were like Splatoon costumes, but like in the final
Right?
batch, you only have 3 costumes.
Two
and
of them were
are
just like, here's Octoling and Judd. And
here's-
Judd is what I was like, I thought that was
Yeah.
already there. You know?
Yeah,
Yeah, it was
I
kind of
don't.
weird.
You know, it's fine. It's cool.
I was someone who really wanted Doomslayer in, so I'm glad he made it as a costume. I wish it came with music, but
Yeah,
it's all right.
That'd be nice, but
Oh, that would have been
But-
cool. Yeah, some
They
sick
didn't really
metal.
do any. I don't think they did any music, right? Besides,
it was
the
just
indies.
literally just Shantae, Cuphead, Under
Yeah,
the
it's-
Sands. That's it.
Oh, I didn't
Yeah.
realize Cuphead and
Yeah.
Sans had them.
Sans
I
is
thought it
the
was
first one.
literally only Shantae. That's cool.
Yeah, the Sans the Sans one is actually a remix. It's not even just an original
Yeah.
track either. It's
And
a
is that like
Megalovania.
Megalovania?
It's a Smash
Yeah.
version
Nice.
of Megalovania,
Special
and
remix.
it's
Oh,
really
that's
good.
awesome. Mm-hmm.
But so we get to our final trailer. We're back at the beginning, and the Inkling is looking at the Smash logo, which is on fire, just like that first trailer we saw forever ago. It fades away, and there's one last flame, and at this point, everyone's like, "What is this?" Everyone is a trophy. Mario gets unfrozen and picks up the fire and wings it, and everyone's like, "Oh, it's Dark Souls." And then it starts spinning through the air, and you can see what it is for a second, but then it zooms in on the money shot, which is a Mickey Mouse keychain, because the last character is Sora. He comes flying out of the keyhole, magic keyhole. That's what I'm going to call it, the magic keyhole.
Drago, can you say the right name for it?
Yeah, what is it called?
Pretty sure it's just the keyhole.
Oh.
Okay, cool. I wasn't-
I should
could be
say
wrong.
we got on Drago because he is the Kingdom Hearts expert. So any queries, if we
Yes.
get anything wrong, it's on him. All right.
Yeah, it's going to be the...
I don't know about that.
Drago's
I'm
going
like
to be our
half of it
lore
expert.
checker.
I know some things, but no.
So, yeah, the final character of Super Smash Bros. Ultimate DLC Pack 2 with 6 characters. The final character in this game is Sora, thought to be an impossible character because of the legal nightmare it has to be dealing with both Square Enix and Disney.
Disney Corporation. They are here. They are in the credits
Yeah.
of Super Smash Brothers.
Yeah, Disney is in the
so
copyright,
weird.
which is really funny. Yeah. So yeah, Sora flew out in his Kingdom Hearts 1 look, floating around. And I guess that's a good jumping point because before we get into the moveset, what was your guys' reaction when you saw this?
Well, first and foremost, can we talk about the trailer, the structure of the trailer? Because I thought it was brilliant.
Yes.
Right?
It was very good.
Like, you know, doing the callback, but like also like, you know, because, you know, a lot of times Smash trailers do this thing where they throw little hints where if you're a fan, you'll pick up on it, right?
Yeah.
And then it gets to the point. There's a certain point where everyone will get it, right? But they like to throw in like little things that diehard fans of that character will just know immediately, right? They didn't do that this time. This time they wanted everyone to realize it at the exact same time, right? At the second, maybe a split second ahead, you notice the Keyblade, but when you see the Mickey Mouse, like that's everyone got it, right?
That's the note. That's the point that everyone knows.
And I just thought that was such a brilliant, because it had me guessing the whole time, right? I was like, I thought it was Dark Souls for a while. I saw a lot of people being like, is this Taboo or Master Hand?
I think Roger said. Someone told me that Roger said he thought it was Taboo.
Drago, you thought it was Cinderace, right?
I sort of like. I think part of me was like, "There's no way, like it's not going to be Cinderace." But then also, it's like the fire drops, and like the entire trailer played out in my head of like the fire like getting kicked towards Mario, and then he's like, "What happened? Who was that?" And then that stupid rabbit is just standing in the distance, and then there you go. There's your
character. Yeah, no, I thought it was Dark Souls. I really thought it was Dark Souls. But no, they do this brilliant reveal. We're all screaming, right? Fucking incredible.
Yeah, I thought it was really funny. The night before, Drago said to me, it's going to be Ryu Hayabusa, and then I'm going to go to sleep. I'm like, I'm okay with that.
I was in a work meeting. I had the video on in the background, like while I was in the meeting talking to my boss, being like, oh yeah, and then I see Sora, and I'm like, oh, okay. Back to the meeting. The announcement grew on me, I will say, because I didn't see the full trailer until afterwards. Yeah, but at first I was like, oh,
you
Sora.
were the most negative of all of us, right?
You were so grumpy about Sora.
It grew on me. But at first I was like, oh, because like everyone's talking about Sora so much the last day
it's crazy.
It didn't feel like a surprise because people had talked about it so much, even though it is a huge surprise.
Like Drago, sorry, you go on.
No, I was saying it's crazy because it's like, I think this is, not including like any obvious leaks, right? I think this is the first time that like everyone was like expecting a character and then it actually happened.
I really feel like, and this is part of why I think it's such a brilliant choice, and this has nothing to do with the choice, but it felt like we had collectively willed this into existence. That like, I don't care about Sora. I was not one of those people, right? But you were hearing about Sora the whole time for the entire last day. And not even people, because there was like a 4chan leak that ended up being right, and in a very funny way, right? Fucking some guy working for Disney Music. But I don't think that was the reason so many people were talking about Sora. I think there was, I don't think most people had saw the leak. I think most people were just legitimately like, this is my last shot. I really fucking want Sora, right? And, it was trending on Twitter even beforehand, and then it happened. The thing that people were saying, it does never happen before.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's definitely one of the situations where, he is a dream character. He's been pretty highly requested, I would say, since Brawl.
People honestly
were madly into the idea of Sora back then, it didn't happen. No one ever thought it would happen because Disney and all the especially after people saw what happened with Cloud the first time around in Smash 4, where it was kind of just like there were 2 songs and then honestly even more so after Sephiroth, because we're like, there's no way there's going to be another square character at this point. We already had Cloud, we already had Hero.
Just in the first match, right?
We got
I did not expect.
So the fact that we got
and there's like, there's no way.
We got 3 Square Enix characters between the 2 passes is crazy, right? Like it really felt like because as soon as Sephiroth showed up, I had written off Sora, right? Because to me, when, back when the DLC first started, before Joker got announced, I had made a little friendly bet with someone that by the end of this we're gonna see Sora, right? But I said end of pass 1. I was wrong. But in my brain, Sora always felt like the proper escalation from Cloud, right? But then we got Hero, and then we got Sephiroth, and then with Sephiroth it was like, okay, I had just been like, nah, Sora is not happening. It's just not happening, right? But beyond all reason, it did, It did, you know, and it really felt like, I guess we can touch upon this, like, what a great final character, you know?
Yeah.
Like seriously, like you know, they mentioned the ballot, right? And where it really felt like coming full circle. You know, Sakurai says, like, you know, this was the most requested character in the game. That means something.
Which is insane.
You know?
Yeah, that does.
Yeah, it's funny that, like, I never thought we would find out who was, like, actually the most requested in that ballot, because obviously they didn't release the results, and they talked a little bit about that.
And Bayonet always had the asterisk, right, of realizable characters. Right.
Yeah, but then the very final DLC character is the winner of the Smash ballot all these years later. Like,
it's like you can't even make it up. It's like, it feels like a movie. This feels like something you write. There's like a plot, but it's just how things worked out. And
you know, I think my initial reaction was, because, you know, obviously as soon as you see the keychain, you know, I think I just went, "Oh wow," out loud, because I was just like, they actually did it.
My reaction was to just bust out laughing. I was like, I thought it was hilarious because I was just like, there's no way, you know, how many people had told us over and over again, like, you know, Disney's impossible to work with, blah blah blah, right? Even like in Square Enix's own games, right? Like, Sora was DLC in World of Final Fantasy, right? And that got delisted in a Square Enix game because Disney copyright is just so notoriously bullshit, right? Their licensing department is just so hard to work with, and so, you know, I think, you know, obviously Sora had so many true believers, but for a lot of us who were too rational, I guess, right? We were like, no, that's just not possible.
That's just, it's not happening. Yeah. And two, you know, it's one of those things too, where, like, there had been, and previously had been rumors of them trying to get Sora in Smash, and it just not working out previously. Now, obviously, who knows if that's true, but even say that is true, like, you can kind of see the weird road that we've taken getting here.
Mm-hmm. I think at first I was like I said, I was like, oh, Sora, but then, like, as the more I think about it, like, I was like, oh wait, actually, when I saw him, like, start doing moves, I was like, wait, I actually like Kingdom Hearts, I forgot. And then I remembered, like, these games have been going on since the PS2. There's DS, there's Game Boy Advance. Like, it does have very strong ties with Nintendo and just
with video games in
general.
Right?
So, like, it makes a lot of sense. Like, it really does.
I feel that it's definitely the appropriate final character. Being the impossible character in the impossible game that will never be replicated.
Yeah.
More or less. I just, like, I wasn't really asking for Sora. I wasn't really looking forward to him. Like, I love Kingdom Hearts to death, and I knew if it did happen, I'd be like, you know, I'd be happy. But I don't know if it was like, I mean, it's not worth getting hyped for because it'll never happen, or if it's just like, I mean, you know, I have my wants, my other wants that I care, and I still probably do care more, but actually seeing it happen was like, I just broke right then and there, and it's like, oh my freaking god, like, this, like, it didn't feel real, like, it's there, it is, and I think I just start, like, I don't remember the last time I like audibly, like, gasped or like couldn't contain myself at, like, a Smash character. It might have been K. Rool. Like, K. Rool might have been the last one that legitimately. Because Banjo got leaked, which sucked.
I thought Steve was just, like, a mind-blowing one.
Steve made me smile.
Steve was pretty crazy, but I don't. Yeah, like, Steve is a whole other topic.
Yeah, for another episode.
I think we touched on, like, seeing Sora actually show up. Even though, again, this was literally the first DLC character I actually personally guessed, right? Mm-hmm. But there was something about seeing it in reality where it was just like, this isn't real, you know, like, there's just no way, how did this happen? And, you know, there's something also, and I don't think this is intentional, but I also kind of like ending this game with the face of another crossover franchise. You know?
Yeah.
I mean, you've got the ultimate crossover game, and you finish with like the character who crosses over.
Yeah, I thought that was just kind of a fun thing, but like, you know, because I think we were all kind of going in wondering, will they treat the final character with reverence, right? Will and then, you know, and this is back again the one thing we were too rational about it, right? We're like, oh well, you know, if you look at the end of Fighter Pass 1 and the base game and Smash 4, you know, the final character is not very high. But we all fucking said that, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
But no, like Nintendo, Sakurai, like they really did feel like they had to make a big deal out of this final character, you know?
You know, I kind of felt it. Like, I didn't want to admit it because I didn't want to actually like get my hopes up. But like, I kind of felt it. Like, I felt like in the days leading up to this, like Sakurai kept tweeting. He's like, "I really want you guys to watch this. This is going to be like a big deal." You know, not exact words, but you know, he kept tweeting about it. He kept typing it up. They called it like the final battle.
Yeah.
Right. Like the final Smash Ultimate show. Like, there was something about it where it's like, even if it is like just a random character, they're gonna prop it up. It felt like they were gonna prop this up to be something important because it is, you know.
And
like,
I know
you look back at this game, and how do you not end it with a bang?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, Mina mentioned earlier how the trailer was designed so that you wouldn't be able to figure it out, and I prefer that. I've much preferred the trailer reveals that are like that keep you guessing. Or at least leave some room for interpretation. For example, when they did the Byleth reveal, as soon as you saw the Fire Emblem and stuff, you knew what was happening.
Like 2 seconds.
And then,
Fire Emblem.
And then the trailer goes on.
That's I'd love to reminisce on that one, but
but I prefer the you don't know
when they keep you guessing, right? And the
what's
misdirection, right? Where it's like, because like, I'll tell you where my brain went, right? I was like, first, like, you know, we saw Inkling, and my brain connected to the fact that we had like random fucking Splatoon costumes, and I was like, is it gonna be a Splatoon character? Like, are we getting like Pearl and Marina here or something, right? And then you know, and then you see like this weird like freeze frame on Zelda, right? So I'm like, oh, is it like a Zelda? Like, you know, are we getting like, you know, Urbosa or someone? I don't know, right? And then the trophy shit happens, and that's when I'm like, this is when I kind of start like, I'm like, is it like some meta thing? Like, is it good? That's what I did. I was like, is it Master Hand? You know, and some people thought it was fucking terrible.
Yeah.
And then finally the fire. Let me tell you though, that fire bit, that would have been a goddamn perfect Dark Souls trailer. If you have played Dark Souls, you know that would have been a fucking perfect Dark Souls trailer.
And I kind of like that they went with that visual, because it's not a visual that you would necessarily be like, oh, that's
right, yeah. You know, you are literally not supposed to know it's Kingdom Hearts until you see the Mickey Mouse, or if anything, like maybe a half second earlier if you notice the shape of the Keyblade.
Yeah.
But that's it. Like,
yeah, you notice the Keyblade, and it's like subtle enough that like it takes a few seconds for it to sink in, but it actually sinks
when
in
you
when
see
you see the
Mickey's,
keychain.
you know, because like the Mickey Mouse head, that is the most recognizable symbol in the world, right? It's just instant.
Absolutely.
You see it and you're like, I know what this is, right? And that's why it was such a brilliant reveal. And like, you know, so it was like the trailer, the lead up, like everything about this really felt like, oh my god, like Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. This is a big deal, you know? And I thought that was really fun.
And two, the trailer also escalates from there because, you know, at this point you know what it is, but you're waiting for him to show up. And you see the keyhole being made, and you're like, come on. And then his head pops out and everyone loses it.
God. And then, like, that simple and clean orchestra.
Oh, God.
Yeah, it's great.
For the rest of my life,
Every
single time I hear that.
That's the best part of the trailer. It's just like, wow. It's
I
like,
am not a Kingdom
I
Hearts
wish
fan,
that could be in the
right?
game.
I am not. Like, not because I don't like it. It just, I haven't played many. Like, I played a little bit of one, and I enjoyed what I played, but I played that when I was like a kid, you know? It's been so long. But, like, even though I'm not a big Kingdom Hearts fan, that fucking orchestral remix of Simple and Clean is so emotional, man. Like, you hear that and you're, like, the heartstrings are being tugged, which is why it's also, like, the perfect, like, end to Smash 2, right? Because, like, it really makes you feel something. You start welling up because of that goddamn song, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So, I'd like to move the discussion a bit to the actual presentation of Sora.
Yeah, Sora himself.
Now that after all the shock, wore off, and Sakurai was like, eh?
That was my bit.
On the next, so we look at Sora, and so Sora is very much based on his Kingdom Hearts 1 design, both moveset wise and look. Yeah. He has those like combo moves that you see in Kingdom Hearts 1. He has some magic stuff. He has some very wild characteristics and recovery that looks like a lot of fun. So as you all were watching the presentation in regards to Sora's moveset, how do you guys feel about how Sora has been realized into Smash Bros?
Drago, this is your corner.
I guess it's my corner. I think I was surprised that it was so heavily based on the first game. Mm-hmm. Not because I disliked the first game or anything like that, but I think I expected something that would like pull more from everything. Like not even just moveset, but like the stage, the music,
the look,
the main design,
right?
like everything.
It is so Kingdom Hearts 1, right?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. I mean, yeah, and like when you do like the dive into the heart, you see like all the other characters and stuff. But like Hollow Bastion is like that like climax world from the first game. Like the moves are mostly from the first game, the animation's mostly from the first game, but then you get like all the other costumes.
Yeah.
And I'm glad, like, because when I think of like Kingdom Hearts, like I think it's weird because like when I think of Kingdom Hearts combat, I think of like the flashiest combat like maybe ever. Like where just like crazy stuff is happening. Like I'm mostly like when I'm thinking of like boss battles and all the different moves that show up and different attacks. But I also think like air combos, like jump up in the air and just start like doing crazy like animations and attacks with the Keyblade. So him being basically like a total aerial machine and monster is kind of like exactly what I would have wanted, and just like how much he's able to combo in the air and like recover and move around, and like the things he was showing off where it's just like if he gets you in the air, it's like you're done. not done, right? I'm sure there's ways to counter it, but just like how far he's able to get away from the stage and just attack you, and then like
I like audibly gasped when I saw like just how far he could go off the stage and back, right? Like it was like, oh my god, like this guy's a monster. And I really like because Sakurai had touched on something. He's like, a lot of the DLC fighters, like we've done just a lot of crazy shit, right? But Sora's simpler, like, but that doesn't mean he's less interesting, right? And so they made a way to like, Sora's going to be a very easy pick up and play character. If you know how to play Smash Bros, you're going to know how to play as Sora, right? But like it is just his his moveset still stands out as a very unique place, and like just everything about him, like he's still a very unique Smash character, and I'm excited to play as him, because the stuff he's doing in the air, I'm just like, what? I have not seen this in Smash Brothers, like this is crazy.
Yeah. It's interesting because he has a lot of combos going on, which funnily enough is the last character of Smash 4, Bayonetta, was also built as a combo character. But there are two different implementations of that idea. I personally really dig that he has like 4 3-hit combos with a bunch of his like his neutral, his tilt, his aerial, and then his aerial forward. That looks very fun to me, and those animations I remember from Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah, it makes sense though. Like that 3-hit combo is very is definitely like pretty iconic. And like when I first saw him do like the sword slashes, and you see like the the Kingdom Hearts particle effects. I think that effect looks really good
Yeah.
there. I think the magic looks like the magic in the game. Like those.
I mean,
that was what stuck out to me
it's
most.
This thing, right?
It's got that
where
dump
Jared,
jump.
you and I have not played Kingdom Hearts in years, right?
Well, wait. I've played it more recently. Sorry. So I beat Kingdom Hearts 1 a few years ago, and I played half of Kingdom Hearts 2, which this makes me want to get back
Sure,
into.
fair enough. But
I have not played Kingdom Hearts in years.
But it was this thing of like instantly recognizable to me, right? Like it brought everything back. I was like, oh my god, like I've played this game, you know? I thought this was really fun. Like it is just such a perfect like implementation. And again, I don't know anything about Kingdom Hearts 2 and 3 and on, right? So like I was personally really happy to see such like the huge Kingdom Hearts 1 focus because for me personally it meant something, right?
It makes sense on a nostalgia front. Like Smash, I think usually tries to go for like the most iconic stuff, and like Kingdom Hearts 1 was just like that was an event.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Like so many non-gamers, like you think of like games like Skyrim and Kingdom Hearts for like the games that like your non-gamer friends are like secretly super into.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, for me, again, I've only ever played Kingdom Hearts 1. I didn't really get into it. I don't like Kingdom Hearts very much. I call it Kingdom Farts at like every opportunity just for fun. I still think that this character is not only the perfect end, but also extremely well realized. And even like, you know, for me, who's someone who's not progressed very far in Kingdom Hearts 1, there was so much stuff I saw that was like, oh, I remember that. Or like his jump, right? I was like, oh, that stupid jump. I know that jump. Like, that's perfect. Like, all that kind of thing.
I think that's the best thing. That's the best part about it being like so Kingdom Hearts 1 focus is it has that
dumb fucking jump.
And like
it looks so silly in the game.
So much.
And personally, out of all of them, Kingdom Hearts 1 is the one I find the most interesting, because to me that game is a Final Fantasy game with Disney characters and worlds, and then some of the sequels obviously have gone
the Disney,
you know, all over. But I feel like the first game is like is the purest realization of that concept.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
So,
I mean, I don't think it's possible to really deny it.
Yeah,
if I'm being honest. Yeah, I don't know. It kind of just leaves me like
I will say,
words.
I want to play Kingdom Hearts now. I want to go through the whole franchise. I'd love to play it on my Nintendo Switch, and they got me very excited for a second about that.
Yeah. Yeah. So, just to put that out there, if anyone missed it, the Kingdom Hearts games, 1.5 Remix, 2.5 Remix, and 3
and 2.8
are all coming to Switch, but they are... Oh, yeah, and 2.8.
Don't forget 2.8.
Yeah, don't forget that. Are all coming to Switch, but only through cloud streaming.
I have never felt more deflated about an announcement in my life.
Yeah.
I have been looking forward to... Because, 1.5 and 2.5 are fucking PS2 games, man. You know? These are not, like... intensive games, and I the novelty of playing Kingdom Hearts on a handheld was very enthralling to me, and so it was just it was deflating it's a cloud version. God damn it.
Yeah, and
it's very disappointing that's even an option now.
There's some theories that like it has to do with potentially some sort of file size restriction.
I'm calling bullshit.
Sounds more like...
I'm calling bullshit.
I don't buy
it
that
sounds more to me like Square does not want to do the optimization work necessary. That's what it said to me. Because, a couple people pointed out, well, if you don't say Kingdom Hearts 1.5 is like 50 gigs or something, it doesn't stop you from being able to just split it up into individual downloads or applications on a cartridge.
And the thing is, 1.5 is like 23 gigs on PS3. So, I mean...
Yeah, that's not...
We have seen Switch games that are bigger than that, But whatever. But yeah,
it's just very disappointing.
Yeah, it's very, very disappointing.
I feel bad for Kingdom Hearts fans on that one. That was the quickest, like... Because at first I thought only Kingdom Hearts 3 was cloud, and I was like, okay, I'm not surprised by that. But then it was everything was Cloud.
That would have made sense.
See, 3 being Cloud, I'm okay with. That's a fair thing, right? Because that's a PlayStation 4 game. Like, you're not gonna fucking put that on Switch. It's just not possible, honestly, right? But no reason for 1.5, 2.5. But whatever. Alas.
Yeah.
Back to
But anyway,
can we talk about the stage?
Ooh.
Yeah. Well, before we get into that too, I just wanted to also mention we talked about this briefly, but Sora has the most intricate alternate costumes out of any character in the game, and besides Bowser Jr.
Yeah.
So he has his Kingdom Hearts 1 look as the default. Then he has Kingdom Hearts 2, Kingdom Hearts 3D, Kingdom Hearts 3, and then he has that special
Timeless River
one. What was Timeless River, where it's like the old school Mickey Mouse looking thing. And then he has some like other costumes from
it's
Kingdom
like
Hearts
Valor
2
form
and
and something else form.
Bonus.
Yeah, wisdom form.
He even has 4 renders.
Yeah.
Like, he has a different render for each main costume.
Oh, that's so cool.
Which is also not something that's happened outside of, like, Hero.
And Hero was separate characters, right? Like, this is one character, like, getting 4 different fucking renders. Like, Bayo has 2, and, like, Cloud has 2, right? But, like, Sora has 4 fucking, like, different renders. They all look great, by the way.
I love it too because each one is like recreating that original render, or like that original pose.
Right. It's just, except it's the Smash version, so it's his younger like Kingdom Hearts 1 self, right? But the outfit and the pose and everything is those games, right? And that's just a lot of fun.
I was very impressed at seeing the alts, and something else I like too in terms of the detail is that on the UI, you have the magic icons that look like the PS2 Kingdom Hearts 1 icons. And even has the taunt magic that doesn't do anything, but, like,
that's funny.
It's there. Yeah. So, yeah, with that out of the way, let's talk about the stage. So, the stage, a lot of people were wondering what the stage would be. And it is Hollow Bastion from Kingdom Hearts 1. You rise out of the sea, and you fly around Hollow Bastion, and then once you get to a one-stock situation, or time starts running out, or a low energy situation if you're doing stamina, the stage switches. And what is the name of it, Drago?
Dive into the Heart.
Dive into the Heart. So it has that smoky background, and it has the stained glass looking platform, and then they have all the characters show up in the background, like a random character will show up out of a bunch of them.
It's
very
so
cool
iconic.
stage. Very cool stage.
That looks gorgeous.
Yeah, it looks gorgeous. It's the coolest transition. Like, that's, I think in the first game you see like the Disney princesses on there. So they replaced those with like the original characters from the game. But like the stained glass looks so cool, and that's just such an iconic Kingdom Hearts area.
Yeah, and honestly, the thing about the stage to me was, I kind of just don't want to play anything about Kingdom Hearts except for Hollow Bastion, because I just think it looks really cool. That's like the takeaway.
Hollow Bastion, it's such a cool stage, and like Smash, especially the DLC, has really loved to do the whole, hey, look at all the cameos in the background, right? This is the best version of that by far. It's not even close,
It's up there at least, because has all the the stages, like gimmicks, like it recreates the actual stage in the game in the background with like the moving platforms. And,
the geometry looks all there. It's cool.
Yeah,
and it doesn't it's not like a Delfino Plaza. It doesn't stop on any of the places.
It's just purely for the
backdrop.
Really nice backdrop, right?
Yeah, I'm kind of mixed about that.
Yeah,
I mean, I guess this is more of a Smash Ultimate complaint in general. Not really a complaint, but it feels like they really took a step back, I guess, in stage design. I shouldn't say step back. I think because Smash Wii U had the crazy stages in this series. They were probably way too crazy, most of them. But then I feel like this
too much the other way.
Much of a too much the other way. Where it's I don't really remember. I mean, I still think the stage looks great. I love Hollow Bastion. I love the music choices. I love the Dive into the Heart. But it doesn't really like you're just flying around.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's a very simple stage.
Ultimate really
base
aimed
of
a
the
lot of its
platform.
features at competitive players in a way that I didn't expect Smash to ever do. Like even just like
Right.
choosing characters before you or choosing the stage before you choose the character is so weird to me.
Yeah, and a lot of the like presentational stuff too that they did, like when you lose a life and the thing pops up on screen for a second to make it more like spectator.
But
friendly. But I also agree, regarding the stage and kind of a lot of the stages that they've added.
I do wish it was like a little bit more going on because it's a very simple, like it's literally just like a flat stage with like one middle platform, right?
Yeah.
So it's really
it's like Smash Bros.
It is
basically.
really basic. But man, that dive into heart section is just so beautiful.
Yeah.
No, it is.
Yeah.
It is. I mean, look, I'm still happy.
Yeah.
You know, like I the stages are fine. I think it's like this isn't really a problem specifically with Hollow Bastion so much as it's just like
it's a trend overall though.
Hopefully-
That like I will say the stages in Ultimate have been disappointing. I will outright say that, you know. But
Yeah.
I do like in true Kingdom Hearts fashion, Kairi got shafted here.
And she shows up, I think, on Sora's stage.
Yeah, she's on
He's
Sora's
diving
stained
into that,
glass,
right?
but I just I
that's
thought that
it.
was funny. Like,
Yeah.
like
Let's talk about the music for a second while we're here. So there are 9 tracks by default. None of them are new arrangements.
Yeah.
They're all from Kingdom Hearts 1. And if you have save data from a Kingdom Hearts Melody of Memory, there is a 10th song, which is what was it called?
The dearly beloved swing
wing
version.
version.
That's right.
Okay.
Which sounds very cool. They put out a video with it. So you can get an extra song if you have those the save data from that, which is kind
Can
of
I say that? I hate that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't
I
like
fucking
that.
like you know this is the only new arrangement that Kingdom Hearts got, right? And it's locked behind. It is a new arrangement, right?
Yeah.
Sort of. I mean, I think it's ripped from Melody of Memory. but it was
Yeah.
created
Sure.
for the
Okay.
game.
Yeah. But like
Yeah. It wasn't made for
right.
Smash.
But
yeah.
like locking that behind Melody, like and I'm a fucking idiot. Like I'm gonna go seek out this game now. So it's working.
It's a fun game.
I
think it's a great game.
I'm looking for. I like rhythm games. I like Kingdom Hearts music is good. So I'm looking forward to it. But like man, this like they haven't done this before, right? Like
I
they've
don't
done
think
like.
so.
No.
I think there might have been some spirits.
They've done it
left
with
behind save
spirits,
data.
but
That was
spirits
it.
I think that's fine. I think that's a cute thing to me, right? But with music,
And they eventually become available for everybody after like an update or
with
two.
the music
They
thing,
get added to the
it just feels a
rotation.
little scummy to me personally.
Yeah, I'm not a fan
Yeah,
of
it's-
that. I can understand having a music track with a Mii costume. I can understand having like bonus spirits if you have save data for something else. Not as wild about you needing save data for, Melody of Memory to have another song on the stage.
Yeah, I think it especially sucks for people who like maybe they got like the PlayStation version because that's where they had the rest of the series, and now you have the game but you can't get the song because you got it on the wrong platform.
Yeah,
Sorry.
that's how I felt about that too. I'm like, man, that must suck for everyone who got this on PS4. And I mean, that's not their fault because it's not like you can foresee this kind of thing,
Yeah,
Um,
can't get mad. Well, you can get mad, but
but
not for
like,
that.
there is one new arrangement, and that is the victory fanfare. They had Yoko Shimomura do an arrangement for Sora's victory, which is cute. I'm not familiar really with the Kingdom Hearts soundtrack, so I'm going to ask Drago, how do you feel about the selection of songs on Hollow Bastion?
Very happy. Like, kind of happy, right? Like, I feel like if you have to stick to only Kingdom Hearts 1 songs, like, every single song on that track list is, like, I love them. Amazing. I've been listening to the songs all over again. But it is disappointing. I think this goes back to them focusing so hard on only the first game, because there was, like, an endless supply of incredible, like, even if you like completely ignore like the Disney worlds, like there are so many like killer battle themes. Like you could have copied and pasted the entire like Remind soundtrack, and you could have just been that, and I would have been like over the moon.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I don't know how much of this you can chalk up to like having.
I think this is entirely. I don't know if thing. I honestly do. I think,
Yeah, kind of smells like it.
It could probably, but I mean, for what it is, I mean, I'm very glad that it's not 2 like PS2 midis.
Yeah.
Because I believe based off the direct itself, they sound like the 1.5 versions, so they're gonna sound. I prefer those versions. They sound more full to me. And just the songs themselves, it's like throughout the whole presentation, like every time a new song played, I was like, oh.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't even like entirely recognize all the music, but every time a new track would play, I'd be like, oh yeah, this is good, So the music is really.
I mean, I feel like that is the most like agreeable thing about Kingdom Hearts.
But
that the music's amazing.
But like,
it's always
that's the reason.
Simple and Clean was not just for the trailer, like. To me, because everyone's focusing on like how can you have Sora without Goofy and Goofy and Donald.
Donald.
But to me, that didn't even bother me. Like, I don't care about that. But like to me, like Kingdom Hearts, Simple and Clean is fucking Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah.
I mean, and it's crazy that like we almost didn't get Dearly Beloved. Like I think that's why I'm not like super. I mean, it's dumb. It's dumb that they lock it behind like buying another game. But part of me is like, oh, I'm just glad Dearly Beloved's
Yeah.
I mean, if there's one song that I as a non-Kingdom Hearts person would want in Kingdom Hearts DLC, it would be Simple and Clean, but I think we unfortunately all knew before this was even a thing that was not happening.
I mean, it's a miracle they even got it for the trailer.
I'm pretty sure.
Right?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure even when I was thinking, like, if Sora, like, because it's like on top of everything else, then you gotta go license like an Utada song.
Yeah, and deal with Sony Music Japan or whatever. I will say, my main disappointment as someone who's not into Kingdom Hearts but just has really enjoyed the Smash DLC is that there's not any new arrangements in the stage songs themselves.
Yeah.
But I can also see that being tricky.
I mean, it was the same thing with Dragon Quest, right? Like, Dragon Quest had just 8 straight rips. Except for Dragon Quest was even worse because they were MIDI songs, right?
Like Dragon Quest, was just one MIDI song basically from each, like, almost every main line.
It was like
game
2 from the 4 games that were represented, but it was...
Yeah. I remember thinking, it's like, I wonder if there were no hero alts and it was just the guy from 11, would we have only gotten 2 songs? Like, is there some, like... Because this was before we got Sephiroth, and Cloud still only had 2 songs, so it's like, maybe just Square has just stupid, like, 2 songs per rule, per game, right? Or something, right? Yeah. Or per character. It's like, this is technically 4 characters, so you can get 8 songs.
Now, I can't quite recall, are any of the songs that were added with Sephiroth new arrangements, or are they just...
Yes.
Okay.
There were a couple.
I think towards the end, by the time Sephiroth came around, like, Square Enix was just, like, willing to work with Smash on basically anything, right? I think that relationship had grown a lot since we got Cloud in Smash 4.
Yep. Next, just also wanted to briefly touch on the Spirit Board, which... shocking no one, is only Kingdom Hearts original characters. They're all Sora's allies, so he's going to beat the crap out of his friends. 8 spirits, not bad, not amazing. And the other thing is, if you are doing stamina mode, when you beat the final, you beat your opponent as Sora, it does the Kingdom Hearts 1 battle conclusion transition where it all fades to white, which I thought was super cool. I love that.
Such a great touch.
Yeah, it was a great touch. And then the final smash was my understanding is pretty much like kind of the ending of Kingdom Hearts 1 but with a Smash logo instead of a Mickey Mouse head.
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
Which I thought was really funny. I thought it was really fun. He was like, "Oh, I want you to see it for yourself."
And then he just shows it anyway. Yeah, like what was that all about?
So weird.
Like I thought, like when he said that, it's like, oh, this is gonna be nuts. Like maybe there is like a Disney reference.
Yeah, I thought Donald and Goofy were gonna show up in it.
But then he just shows it anyway. I was like, oh, okay.
I laughed seeing the Smash logo on the door. I think that was my favorite part.
Yeah, that's pretty funny.
So
I think people said it's like literally sending characters back to their original worlds.
Oh,
yeah.
My Kingdom Hearts lore is pretty rusty, so I'm not sure. I'd have
Sora,
to double check.
Sora just literally ended the ultimate crossover by sending all the Smash characters back
and
to
this
their
will be the
world.
excuse for when Smash has to reboot. You know, we're starting from scratch. Sora fucking
let's not
sealed
go
them
there.
all away.
Can't wait.
Let's not go there. One other thing. So, I mean, we probably should talk about it on some level. There are some people who obviously associate, for a good reason, Kingdom Hearts and Sora with Disney characters and worlds, and obviously all Disney, anything besides that very expensive keychain, have been scrubbed from this version of Sora. I know
some in
people
funnier
have
ways than
feelings on
others,
that.
like in Sora's dive into Heart.
Yeah. Or Donald and Goofy are like what, a pirate ship and
starfish.
what was the other one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
A raft and
Yeah, the raft. That's what.
God, I can't believe it's like the some fruit. Oh my god.
Yeah.
It's like the papui fruit. Oh my god. Hold on. I'm sorry. I'm gonna.
It's okay.
Well, while you find that, obviously there's been some opinions because
There we go.
there we
Almost
go.
got it.
People, obviously, a big part of Kingdom Hearts is you have your party members who are Disney characters, and especially Donald and Goofy in
Oh, yeah.
particular.
Mhm.
How do you guys? I mean, obviously, I think I'd be able to fairly say that was
never on the table.
going to happen.
Yeah, that was just
Yeah.
never on the
However, how do
Yeah,
you feel about the character and the collaboration, even without those elements? Does it change
I
much
mean,
for you?
For me, it doesn't, just because it's like, even when you would be like, okay, let's say he does get into Smash, it's got to be just Sora. Like,
Yeah.
and obviously, rules are not real. So maybe he could have shown up with Donald and Goofy, but I never, ever would have expected that. So it doesn't really shock me, like, at all. And it doesn't feel like anything is missing, because this is exactly what I would have thought it was going to be. So I've kind of, like, visualized it exactly as this for basically as long as I've thought about Sora being in Smash Brothers.
I kind of feel the same way.
Right.
Like, I personally, I like, on an intellectual level, yes, it is missing, right? A core part of it. But honestly, like, it doesn't bother me. Like, I think this is, I really have thought that this was a great representation of Kingdom Hearts. Even if Disney is so integral to the series' identity, like, I feel like Kingdom Hearts is more than just that, right? And you can do enough Kingdom Hearts representation just doing the original stuff, right?
Definitely.
Right, yeah, which they've done.
It's its own thing. It's not just the Disney stuff. They really have... You know it's Kingdom Hearts immediately. You don't have to see Donald and Goofy
And
there.
you don't want to open that fucking Pandora's box, honestly.
Well, yeah, that's... I was like, there was something I was going to say, and I'm not remembering it. And that's it. Because the second... Like, even Mickey being a keychain is already, like, you've got the key in the hole.
It means Iron Man's going to be in the next game. I'm sorry.
Iron Man? Did you say Iron Man?
Yeah, the MCU is going to be in Smash 7.
Don't even, like, put that out there.
Yeah, like, I don't want that, like, door opened, honestly. Like, I don't want any hint of non-video games in Smash Bros. Like, Smash Bros. Is a video game brand, a video game celebration, right?
Yeah.
Like, yeah. And I think I think it was like a happy mix between, like, it's going to cost way too much, and also I don't think you really want that to begin with, because it really would be like, oh, well, if Donald and Goofy are in the game, then why can't Goofy?
Exactly.
I just have...
Why not Spider-Man?
Yeah, I just have this visual of, like, Sora summoning Goofy and Donald and being like, holy shit, Goofy is fighting against Dark Samus and is attacking Rathalos, and that just this visual in my mind that is probably the, like, that is the final frontier of the batshit crossover insanity that this game has been, if that were a thing. But I do agree that I prefer that it's only the gaming stuff represented.
I mean, like, and I honestly, I don't think that Disney would have allowed it, and I don't think Nintendo even negotiated for it. You know, I think it was it was a mutual, like, no, we're not even gonna, like, you know.
Yeah.
And it's fine.
Yeah. As funny as it would be to see Donald Duck taking on what was that boss? God. Taking on Marx. That is the funniest thing to me.
That would be something, but
But so now the final roster is pretty much 89 characters. There are 116 stages, not including all their permutations.
Wow.
There are going to be over 1,500 spirits after this week's Dread spirits and the Kingdom Hearts spirits get added. It's a lot. It's finally coming to an end.
Smash Brothers is over, right?
Yeah.
That was, I think, like, to me, the biggest takeaway is Super Smash Brothers is, in its current iteration, right?
Yeah,
as you know, is over, right? Like, and I had been someone who vocally had said multiple times, they're gonna do a Fighter Pass 3. They're just not gonna leave that money on the table, right? But honestly, like, I'm fine with this, you know, because Smash Brothers, and it is sad to see, right? I like, you know, Smash Brothers is something I will always look forward to for the rest of my life, right? But this has been a project that has essentially been 10 years in the making, right? The development of Super Smash Brothers has been nonstop since they announced that game in fucking 2011, you know? At some point, you have to let go. At some point, you have to say goodbye, right?
Wait, which game was announced in
Super
2011?
Smash Bros. For Wii U and 3DS.
Oh, we're counting that.
Yeah, I feel like it's fair to count that, because it has been a continuous development, right? And not even just a development, continuous news cycle, right? Like, in that entire 10-year span, the only time Nintendo did not officially mention Smash Brothers in some capacity was 2017, and we spent all of 2017 speculating about Smash for Switch anyway. You know?
It's there in spirit.
I mean, like, it's for another episode, but I think the future of Smash is exciting. Even though this this stage is, like, over, it's like a new stage is beginning.
But this is truly a culmination, right? And you know, like, the game has lived up to its name, both its English and Japanese name, right? Like, this is the ultimate form of Smash Brothers, and it also shows you why Smash Brothers is special, right?
It is the end of the miracle. Like, this is the miracle game with the miracle crossovers, and now it's over because eventually stuff has to end. And they were very careful to hammer that point in, like, 30 times.
They did not want to leave the door open for more DLC, right?
Yeah, they did not leave the door open at all.
No, definitely not.
Not that they couldn't if they really wanted to, but, like, they were pretty clear with their communication.
Like, it almost felt like, I don't think, obviously it's not the end of Smash Brothers, but it kind of felt like it. It's like, it almost felt like this is it. Like,
to me, it felt like the end of Sakurai's Smash, even though I don't even know if that's true, but that's what it felt like to me.
Yeah, I don't think it's the end of Sakurai's Smash, but it is. But, like, it is, like, it's not even just a culmination of Ultimate, like, the last, you know, it's been in development since the ballot, right? So 2015, right? It's not just the last 6 years. It's not just the last 10 years since Smash 4 was announced, but it is a culmination of the Smash Brothers franchise from its start to now, right? Because
it's in 1998, I think, right?
Something like that. And, you know, Ultimate's whole thing was everyone is here, right? And this was truly a celebration of the entire fucking franchise.
Yeah. We had almost every single stage.
Yeah, you know?
Yeah. It's amazing.
This truly was just, like, a culmination of 20 years. And...
yeah.
I you know... and that's why, you know, Drago said at the beginning, like, you know, he almost cried, and so did I, because, you know, like, man, this is such a big part of our lives, right?
Yeah, I mean, because that's the thing is, like, I just went into this thing like, I mean, they're just going to reveal the character, they're going to talk about it and be like, wow, look at this. Sure did it, huh? Goodbye, you know? But then the whole thing, they kind of, like, just, they didn't spend too long, you know, reflecting on it, but just enough to really be like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah. This is a game people are going to play for years and years to come. Like, even if there's like 4 more Smash Brothers games,
there's always going to be a reason to come back to Ultimate, right? There will always be a reason to come back to Ultimate because this will truly never be replicated. You know,
it's not going to be replicated. Yeah, like the roster alone is not going to be replicated.
No.
Ultimate bookends right now this entire initial era of Smash Bros. And it's kind of funny because we have Metroid Dread coming out in a couple days from this recording, and that game is going to be bookending the story from
the end of the Metroid
2D
saga,
Metroid
which is
games.
so weird.
Yeah, for 35 years. Not that it's not going to continue and do other stuff, but like the main arc is ending. So we got 2 long-lasting series kind of closing a major chapter right now. I've said this multiple times. Other people have said it too. People in other fighting game communities wish that they could have the kind of DLC and content and support and attention to detail that Smash gets.
Yeah.
They like full stop. And obviously some fighting games get more DLC than Smash Bros, but the quality of the DLC and the insanity of the crossovers and the content in Smash is pretty much at the highest. It's the highest echelon of a gaming celebration.
I don't think any fighting game will match.
I'm just thinking of fighting games. Can you think of any like DLC that like matches the excitement that Smash gets? No.
It's just not at all.
It is a thing so unique to this franchise. Because each and every one of those 11 pieces of DLC was treated with such care, treated as a big deal every single time, right?
Yeah. The DLC was much more than just, here's a character and a stage. It was a collaboration.
Right, it was a huge event, and every single time, and that is a thing that is truly unique to Smash. You'll never see that with any fucking game, period.
Yeah. So just want to say now, we are going to do an episode at some point that kind of goes through the roller coaster that was Smash Ultimate in kind of more detail in that whole journey, because I think it's something that's worth talking about, because again, it's never going to be replicated, and I think people are going to we'll remember this from many years from now. But for right now, I'd like to end on if there's anything that you guys want to say or share about Sora, anything that you're looking forward to in terms of playing as him. He's going to be out on October 18th, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah. So does anyone have any last thoughts on Sora and the stuff that was in this presentation? We'll start with Jared.
On the spot.
Yeah, on the spot.
Yeah, I mean, I'm excited. I buy every one of these characters. I usually buy them, play them like twice, and then put the game away. But I'm definitely very excited to try out Sora and definitely Hollow Bastion. And I love going back to Smash whenever a DLC comes out.
How about you, Mina?
This is not specifically what Sora, but it does relate to playing as Sora on the 18th. But I'm looking forward to like this one last romp of every time a DLC character comes out, like me and a couple friends, like we just play for 2 hours straight and we're all playing as that DLC character, right? And I'm gonna have a really good time doing that one last time with Sora. We're all excited to play as this one character. We're fighting on Hollow Bastion the whole time, and I'm looking forward to that. It's gonna be a little sad, right? But I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah.
How about you, Drago?
It's weird, right? Because, without getting into too much detail, right? Ultimate's been a weird game for me. Like, obviously, like, in retrospect, I'm going to miss it a lot. But actively, it was kind of a love-hate relationship. And I haven't really been playing the game a ton. Like, I dropped... Conversation for a different time. What I'm trying to say is, like, I think watching Sora, like, really more than any other character, I think was the first time in a long time that he did like a character presentation. I was like, I actually like really want to like play this game again and like try this character out. For a lot of reasons, kind of maybe go back and give the other DLCs more of a try.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think really the last time I got like semi-invested was when they did that Sephiroth event, and you could like do like the Sephiroth boss to get him early.
Yeah.
And since then, it's kind of...
I wish that made it back for the final.
Yeah, I wish that was permanent, but what are you going to do?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just, this is, I think, the most excited I've been to actually play a Smash character probably since, I guess, Banjo, or even, like, just when the game actually came out.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm glad that if any character made me feel that way, I guess it was, like, the final one. Because I feel like it's going to give me a lot of incentive to kind of go back and, not give the game a second chance, per se, but just kind of relive it again.
Right?
And just...
I think I'll be more excited to play Ultimate now that it's like
complete.
It's like symbolically finished. It's like I have everything now that makes it more exciting.
Also, one last note, can I say, this final character, I am so happy that Drago is happy about it. It means more to me that he's happy about the final character than someone I wanted. Honestly.
I will say, like, for as much fear as I have all the time, Fighters Pass 2 has been almost, like, just hit after hit after hit.
Yeah,
like,
I agree.
Yeah.
The worst part was a character that was just like, oh, okay, sure. And, like, there is no Joker. There was no Byleth. It was all smiles. So, thank you, I guess, to Nintendo for picking characters I enjoyed. Cool.
In regards to Sora, I just want to say that I appreciate that once again his original game and his characteristics have made it over to Smash so well, like a lot of other DLC characters and base characters as well, from Min Min, who kind of brought the ARMS gameplay into Smash, to Kazuya, who brought Tekken gameplay very much into Smash. Sora feels like he is ripped out of his game and plopped into Smash, as he should be. I'm super stoked to see what people do with that side special that can chain 3 times and also work in parallel with his recovery up B, with a lock-on and all that crazy stuff going on. I'm also glad that they did not play through Sora's classic mode in the presentation, because that will be one last final little surprise to play through, because, again, if anyone has forgotten, every character in Ultimate has their own classic mode, except for the Mii's.
Which is so cool.
So, I'm curious to see what they'll do with it. I'm very excited to check them out and see what people do with them. And then beyond that, at the end of the presentation, they showed the trailer for one last time, but this time the full trailer, and it closes on a shot of Sora and Mario shaking hands, and the whole cast is in the background, which was just kind of like a very weird moment.
Scrimblow, Bimblow, and McJRPG guy are together at last. You love to see it.
And my thought was Cyclops and Ryu shaking hands in X-Men versus Street Fighter.
Sure, yeah.
It was like that same kind of thing. It was funny. But yeah, so that's going to be it for today. Thank you everybody for listening. I just want to mention a quick couple of things before we go. First of all, you can check out our community website at nintendopipeline.wordpress.com. It has a bunch of fun articles and features there, and is occasionally updated. Second, you're listening to this right now, but you can listen to us anywhere from YouTube and Spotify to Apple Podcasts to Radio Public. I don't even know what Radio Public is, but you can listen to us there. Definitely, if you like what you hear, please consider subscribing on one of those platforms. Third, I personally just wanted to extend a small congratulations to the Family Boards team. They have just gone public as of today. They put a lot of work into making a cool new home on the internet for Nintendo and video games. And Install Base, the sales boards, are also about to do the same thing. So just wanted to send some well wishes and thank you to anyone who has joined there, and who may have even started listening to us from seeing, some of that stuff posted in our Discord and on the boards and stuff.
One quick
and
note
lastly,
on that, on the family boards.
Oh yeah.
We have a thread there.
Yes.
There. You can directly interact with all three of us. We had Family Board's beloved admin West Egg on the Skyward Sword episode, right?
We did.
So go into that thread, post in that thread. We'd love to have you in there, and
and if you take a look at that thread, not only does it have everywhere you can listen to us, but it also has an episode directory of all the previous episodes. So if you kind of want to see at a glance like what we've talked about and maybe find one of those interesting, you can find it in that thread as well. And at the very last thing is thank you very much, Drago, for being here as our guest today, our Kingdom Hearts lore expert.
I hope I was of service.
You were of service. And yeah, thank you, Mina and Jared and everybody being here and everybody listening. We will see you again next week with something else. Don't know what yet, but we'll see you. So, goodbye.
Bye.
Have a good one.
Bye-bye.